Hey everybody, Matthew Cooke here, founder and CEO of GTC Golf Academy, and today I'm going to show you how to hit a downslope shot with an iron on the fairway. Now this is actually a layup shot, but either way, some people are waving me through there, either way, whether you're hitting into the green or whether you're laying up on a hole, it doesn't matter. How you hit the shot is still the same. So we ultimately have to assess the lie and understand how the lie is going to affect the ball's flight. So because I'm on a downslope, naturally the club that I'm using is going to be de-lofted. So the loft that's presented to the ball at impact is going to be less than the loft that the club has. So I've got an 8 iron here. It's a par 5 I'm laying up, but I'm still going to hit a full 8 iron. So I've taken into account that this 8 iron is now more like a 7 iron because of the severity of this downslope. It might not look that severe on the camera. It might not even look like a slope on the camera, but it's hard to, I think it's hard to see sometimes. It's like watching Augusta on TV, the Masters, and you don't quite see the undulations but when you go to the event, it's like, whoa, this is crazy. The TV doesn't do it any justice, and that's still beautiful. Similar here, like you might not see the severity of this slope, but it's quite severe. It's a moderate to severe slope. I'd say moderate actually. It's a moderate slope, significant enough to have an impact. So 8 iron is going to turn into like a 7 iron is my prediction. And so basically what we've got to do is know that because of that, the ball's going to fly lower. The trajectory of the shot is going to be much lower. It's going to be like a 7 iron. Because of that, it's going to have more roll, and so knowing that, it's going to go a little further than the normal 8 iron would, and so you got to figure out the yardage. You know, because it's an 8 iron now that's a 7 iron, is it going to go too far, etc., etc. So you got to figure that out. And then when it comes to the actual mechanics of hitting the shot, you don't change your swing. There's no such thing as, like, you know, you're swinging higher or flatter or more inside, more outside, and all of that. That's garbage. If anyone tells you that stuff. The swing's going to change naturally on its own due to the demands of the slope, and then you don't want to consciously start changing things in your swing. What you're going to do is you're going to set up to the ball in a position that matches the slope, so that the arc and the swing that you have can continue to connect with the ball as it should. So we're on the down slope. The gravity is always going to pull you down the slope. So gravity is pulling me that way down the slope. So I want balance. We've always got to have balance. So I'm going to stand wider. This is how wide I'm going to stand. And then what I'm going to try to do, and I think this is the easiest way I can explain to anybody, and this is what I teach everybody that comes to see me and in lessons, all my clients. I just try to keep it really simple and ask them to get their shoulders to match the slope. So on the down slope, we've got to lean with the slope. Everything else stays the same posture-wise because it's pretty level. It's just down. It's a down slope. The ball's not above or below my feet. It's just as it is, but on a down slope. So I'm going to match the slope of my shoulders, and just naturally, I've got more pressure and weight on my left side. So that's just pretty natural. And so when I make a swing, it's going to be a little bit harder to load up on the right side, which is fine. So the swing might be a little bit more restricted on the way back. But it still be pretty similar to the full regular swing with the 8 iron that I would have on a flat lie. So because of that, weight's on the left side, wider stance, I'm matching my shoulders with the slope, and that's going to allow me to get the club to connect with the ball as it would. Now, I often see people taking the stance of putting the ball back in the stance and keeping everything the same. And this tends to lead to fat shots because you haven't adapted your shoulders to the slope. Essentially, if you imagine a hula hoop around me, one day I'll have a videographer that can do all of this stuff, but level shoulders, that means that the arc of the swing is going to hit the ground before it gets to the ball, and that's where the fat shot comes from. So when we imagine that circle around me, if I adjust myself and I adjust the low point in that circle, in that arc, to be right where the ball is. So it's critical that we get our shoulders to match the slope. If we do this, then you're going to have a much better outcome. Now, because it's a down slope and the ball's not above or below my feet, I'm not going to see like a difference, too much of a difference, if at all any, in the direction We'll get to direction when we talk about above and below your feet, but here we go. So wide stance, match the shoulders with match my shoulders to the slopes and leaning with it, and from here make the normal swing. Oh, that was the perfect club. That is, I don't know, maybe a few yards from the end of the fairway. Looks pretty good. So beautiful layup. As you can see, this divot may have sounded like a big divot, and it's not when you look at it. It's pretty normal for an 8-iron as a divot. If anything, maybe it's a little bit bigger than usual, but I hit that pretty well. Hit down on the ball very well. And really remember, you don't need to change your swing to hit a downslope or hit any sort of slope. You don't change your swing, you change how you adapt to the lie. So that is how you hit a downslope shot.